Hi, how are you? How are you? All right, I want to walk you through a few things and just show you what Vision Rising is all about so that I can answer some of your questions in real time that I often have coming to me. So, number one, this is for women who know that they are a visionary, that they identify as being a leader and wanting to lead themselves into wholeness and truth for this 2021. It feels so strange to say 2021, doesn't it? Um, and so I just want to walk you through a little bit here. Let me just fix this. So thank you for your patience. Amazing. So the time to move is now. We know this. I'm going to walk you through some of the process steps that we go through to give you, a general sense of the arc of what transformation is all about and the unique and wonderful ways that I do it. And I've been training in this for years, and I have to tell you, it amazes me the results that people get when they go through this process. They always get what they have come for. There's always this really deep soul resonancy that draws them into this work. And I'm always so humbled to be able to mentor them through that process. So now is the time to move. It's not yesterday. It's not 3 months from now. It's not 6 months from now. The time is now. And 2020 showed you that, right? 2020 really woke that part of you up, and it's a beautiful thing. And anytime that we're going directly into the focus of our vision, or really allowing that vision to rise up from within us, it's going to bring up all the parts that want to resist that may fear that expansion. It's going to bring up everything that doesn't totally feel like it's a match for what you want. So fear and doubt, comparing yourself, imposter syndrome, all of these are going to come up in that. I just want to normalize that that's part of what the experience is, which is why I have created the steps in the exact order that they're in for a reason. And I also want to acknowledge that I know that you have been doing this work for a while and that you are trying and that every day you're showing up the best that you can. You're doing the journaling, you're doing the inner work, you're doing the meditations, you're working on a morning practice, or you're wanting to do more of that. And so I just want to really acknowledge that. And I want to really acknowledge what it feels like, or what it may feel like for you, knowing that it's not necessarily unfolding the way that you thought it would, or that maybe a course or a program told you that it would. And so I also want to normalize that it's okay to feel like you're not quite where you know that you can be, that there's this really deep level of potential that's really bubbling up. I mean, I also want to acknowledge it can feel exhausting, and that this is not who you are. You are not the fear, you are not the doubt. It is part of all of us. But in the essence and core truth of who you are, that's not what it is. And what's also happening is that we have been brought up and programmed and raised within a structure, a paradigm, a way of thinking and being that does not work. Okay, it's a really broken system where you have to have things in order to be able to do things, and then you can only then can you ever be that person. You have to go, get that certification, and then you can do the things that somebody certified can do, and now you can be legitimate. And the opposite is true, that we get to be that person now, right? We get to identify ourselves as the visionary, as the one who has a true, real gift to share in the world. We get to really unfold ourselves into that place first. And that's not to say that there's no use for certifications or learning. That's a great place in your journey, but it isn't the thing. And so you can take all the business courses you want. You can learn about funnels. You can pay somebody to do your website. You can work on your logo and get free opt-ins till the cows come home. But when it comes to the actual being of the person who is going to implement the strategies, that's when our edges will show up, right? And that's when we're going to stop ourselves. And that's where the work begins. So you show up, you do the work, and then you get the results. So I had said everything that I kind of shared in this part is really just exactly what I said. There's no 5-step formula out there. There's no 5-step business formula that's going to get your vision up and running if that's part of what your vision is, right? Is to have a business. Um, Vision can mean lots of different things, okay? But in the context of the business strategies, it's not going to work unless you can be the person implementing. Because we often will find ourselves avoiding it, distracting ourselves, delaying ourselves. And so I kind of talk a little bit about that. And so, what I want to point out is that a business course alone isn't enough anymore. Not today, not now, and not for the bigness of what you have to do here. A business course is not enough. And there's a lot of key gaps that I see. And so I kind of name some of these gaps in my copy here. One thing I want to point out, I'll just point out one of them, is when business courses will share a very watered down version of spiritual teachings without actual practical ways on how to apply them in real life, right? With a real live person. So, what does it actually look like to have unattachment to the outcome when you're trying to launch a new program? Right. And to me, in the work I do and the experiences I've had working with entrepreneurs, that's a real live mentorship moment that needs to happen in relationship face to face. It's not something that somebody can just tell you what it is. It has to make sense to you, and it has to be a conversation that you have with your coach and your mentor about what it looks like for you and how your unique design understands what being detached from the outcome looks like. So we really need to learn how to hold our vision as well, and not just to create it, not just to put the steps out, not just to put the launching programs out, but what comes after that? What comes after that? After you've gotten your first client, there's lots of stuff to deal with there. Am I doing a good job? Are they going to get results? There's so much that goes on within us, and so there needs to be a course out there that's specifically designed for showing you how to hold and sustain what you do create. So I created this because the industry needs it. We need more programs like this that are going to actually help the human, right? As opposed to the person that's going to put this external structure into its own form. We need to have conversations about what it looks like to have this. So I do give you form and structure and foundation for some of the back end things in your business. I do help get some of the must have set up for you. So that is something I do. I do help you put together programs. I do help you get um, important parts of your website set up that people need, that you do need to have for people to be informed if your website is a way that people are going to work with you. As you can tell, mine is not. Mine is like, I don't put a lot into my website, but I put the basics. So there's 4 steps that we take together, okay? And I'm going to just kind of point out how this is going to work for you. So we're always going to work with our identity and unfold and unpack that first. There is a plethora of self that we still don't know about ourselves. There is so much. You are such a multifaceted person with so many different parts. And we need time and space and direct mentorship to really open up those parts that we often keep hidden. So, we're going to access your core parts. We're going to access what your core identity is, access what your desired outcomes are, and put them on your timeline. We're going to start opening up and seeing what are we really working with and dealing with when we're talking about the healing. We've all come here to heal. You're here in this lifetime, and part of that is because there is a part of you that gets to heal and reintegrate back into divine wholeness. So we start talking about that, and we talk about your identity, who you believe you are, always in relationship to the desires that you have, and these will be around your vision, right? I desire to show up and hold space for people, and your identity may say differently, may say you're not good enough, you're not ready. There's lots of different voices inside that we get to start to unpack. And once we do all that, once we lay it all out on the table, we can start to repair the parts that get to be repaired and healed and witnessed, and held in a loving way. And from there, we can reclaim the wholeness back to the wholeness of who we are. This is These 2 portions of the program are so incredibly powerful, and they are really there as the essence of what it is that we do together. And by the end of it, you've literally changed the field around you. You've changed who you are. You have changed on so many deep levels that now you can have more soul success in being able to match the goals with the beliefs that you have. And you can start to gather resources, internal resources and external resources, get your programs together, start showing up, become more visible in such a confident and clear way. It feels more possible because it is. And so we start working on what would it look like for you to be in the full expression and expansion of your vision. When we get to that point, things have started to happen for us. Shifts have started to happen. Results are starting to come in. Maybe for you, that might mean getting a client or 2 or 3 or 4 or fill a group program. There's no right or wrong result that you get at this point, but you will have some momentum. You will have some momentum forward in such a safe, and meaningful way for you. Now we need to learn how to hold that. Good things happen. And we have been so programmed, don't expect too much. Something bad's going to happen, waiting for the other shoe to drop. We all have this inner thermostat of how good we're going to let it be. And we get to expand the level to which we'll let life be good. We get to grow that and expand it. And so fourth, that's what that fourth section is all about. It's all about learning how to sustain and hold it. Sustain and hold it. Okay. Sorry, just had to pause there. My children were coming in. Okay, so those are the four steps. They all work intentionally together. And by the end of it, you are literally a whole different person. You feel more confident and clear in yourself simply because we've integrated all those seemingly disassociated parts, all those parts that seem to be in conflict with each other, the saboteur, the action taker, the saboteur, the action taker, the part of you that wants to show up, the part of you that's like, oh my God, girl, don't do that. That's scary. We've integrated those. Now they're working together. Now we can move forward. Now our beliefs match what we came here to do, right? Everything feels better. So I have different access points. I'm not going to go into great detail. I just want you to know that my main intention for this is that you get the support that I know humans need. We need a lot more support than we think we do. And I think there's a time and place for big, large programs. But I also know that the work that we're going to do together requires intimacy. It requires a lot of attention, the right attention. I can't do the work for you. I'm not going to hold your hand and pull you along, but I am committed to walking beside you, which means there's lots of different ways that you can access support. We've got a Facebook group. I'll do a live in there if I feel there's a theme coming up. I'll answer questions. Um, there's also the group calls that we have every week. These are phenomenal and so powerful. This is really where the transformation can occur. If you miss a call, that's fine too. That's okay too. I've had that happen lots and people still get results. And of course, all the replays are there for you. I have a resource library that you can access with all of the process work, the meditations, the hypnosis, the time techniques, everything that you're going to need, all the tools that you're going to need. And there's a plethora of them for you to choose from, right? So if tapping doesn't work, hypnosis may work. If that doesn't work, then timeline may work. If that doesn't work, then process journaling may work or somatic work. And so there's always a little bit of everything for you to choose from and find the right one for you. You have lifetime access to that. You also get one on one intensives. You get one on one treatment because groups are powerful and we're humans. And so we need that one on one human interaction for the work to make sense for us, for it to really land in our system, and for us to implement it in the unique framework and goal setting that we have for ourselves. And so you get those intensives. Okay. Oh, I'm glad I looked at this because I have intensives on there twice. Um, that's all right. The last thing I'll tell you is that I have office hours. So office hours, you can pop in every week. I have them pop in for 15, 20 minutes. There's an amazing amount we can get done in that time. You can get live feedback, live coaching, laser coaching. You can have your questions answered in real time, or you can come simply for any type of energetic clearing, anything that you need. So those are the four processes. I'm going to invite you to check the website again. It's leannajaneyoga.com. You can see it up at the top. And it goes through everything that we do in each of the steps. Okay. This is all mapped out and we're humans. So we may take a call just to integrate what we're learning, to have a different conversation. All of it matters, all of it counts. So this is a leadership and embodiment first. Okay, that's what the whole purpose of this course is. So you can scroll down, you can read about all of my certifications and all the years learning that I've spent. You can learn about the call times. The rest of it is all there for you. There is an early bird. It ends January 4th, unless something else comes up, but that's when it ends. So listen to the voice in your head that your mom's telling you, hey, save the money, girl. DM me, let's have a conversation, and let's talk about what it might look like for you in this program. And all of my programs are always intentionally created to be accessible for you. Yes, it's going to cost money. There's going to be some skin in the game, but my programs are always payment plans and always accessible. Namaste. Look forward to speaking with you. And I truly look forward to holding space for you in this container if this speaks to you and calls to your soul. Have a fantastic rest of the day.